Welcome to In Washington, Really? For August the 28th, 2013. If you remember my previous message, I spent a great deal of time talking about the way the federal fiscal year and the start of the new year might end and might begin. Since I recorded that message, there's been a great deal of discussion, which I'm sure you've seen in the media, about the situation being a bit worse because the federal debt limit is going to expire early in October. This means that the Congress must, besides passing the necessary appropriations bills, deal with the deficit issue again, and has been an opportunity for several members of Congress to propose that this debt ceiling and the appropriations process be used to, quote, defund Obamacare, unquote. As you know, the House of Representatives has voted 40 times in the last 2 years to repeal Obamacare, and lately this new tactic of tying it to the appropriations process or tying it to the debt limit is the latest of many versions to do whatever defunding Obamacare means. It's interesting to me that we now have a significant number of Republican controlled states signing up for Obamacare, including yesterday's decision in Michigan by the governor and the legislature to participate in the expanded Medicaid that is available under Obamacare. So it comes at an unusual time when that expansion is extremely important to especially those who have been unemployed for a longer length of time. All of this continues to be really vexing in light of the fact that Congress will not return until after Labor Day, and in the month of September, in all the entire month in which they must do this budget deal, take care of appropriations, and deal with this issue with the debt, there are only 9 scheduled days of congressional session on the calendar in the House or the Senate. That means all of these major issues must be decided in 9 working days. In addition to the crisis over the debt and financing and the other deferred budgetary issues that have been moving along for the last several months, all of us know that there's increased concern about the possibility of military intervention in Syria. All of that will add to the political, I would call it upheaval or conversation or disturbance here, making September look like a very difficult period in which all of these things must be accomplished. As you might gather, there is nothing in those 9 congressional days that will be doing much to affect anything going on in transportation, but we will have major clues in the way these issues are resolved, if they are, as to how we might proceed in the next session of Congress on that transportation reauthorization that we're all going to need. During the summer, I've had a good chance to visit around the country with many of our state partners and to attend a number of meetings, as have a number of my colleagues here at the association. We've listened very carefully to the kinds of issues our members brought to us there and used that to build upon the information that we gathered earlier this summer in Expo. I realize now that we have several topics that I hope we'll be able to discuss at our board meeting in September. Chief among these are the crisis caused by the lack of capital that is available because of the way MAP 21 was done and the inability of many of our members to raise money for the capital they need to preserve their good operating experience that often comes with good equipment. In addition to that, we remain very concerned about the operating financial environment of many community and public transit systems as well, all of which can only be solved by a decent and robust transportation reauthorization. This summer, we've also been talking about some of the other ideas that we originally talked to you about and Tampa and at Expo in trying to develop new outreach strategies for our members to work with their members of Congress at the local and district level. As a matter of fact, we made that a subject of major conversations with state association staff and directors and board members over the summer, and I think we're all agreed that it's time to take some initiative in this regard, and we'll be working up some ideas on that we can discuss at our meeting in September as well. I hope that you've had a chance since our last meeting and last discussion to look at some of the stories we've been reporting in Community Transportation Magazine that highlight some of the innovations and different approaches community and public transit systems have been doing that we've been talking about on a regular basis. I mention this because later today, another issue of our magazine should just about be ready for release that will really concentrate on innovation and the work of community and public transit providers and organizations which have stretched their dollars to the breaking point but created new and innovative ways to provide service. We think these are always good examples to inspire others and good examples for us to be citing as we begin a process of outreach to people in Congress who don't necessarily understand the relationship between what is done in community and public transit and the benefits that are provided to their community. Again, all of these are important issues for us that we look forward to discussing with you in September. In the meantime, as we approach the Labor Day holiday, I hope that you'll have the good experience of a nice weekend on what often is called the final weekend of summer as we prepare for this very unusual September that lies ahead. And finally, if you think you haven't heard enough from me or about me lately, I'd like to close by mentioning that I'm appearing in a CTAA podcast that will shortly be released in conjunction with the upcoming issue of Community Transportation Magazine. I've attached the link to that to the cover memo that went with this version of In Washington, so that you might want to spend your time driving somewhere over this weekend and have the opportunity to listen to me go on and on and on for almost 20 minutes. So with that in mind, I wish you well for the holiday ahead. I look forward to seeing you soon. Not unlike that song goes, I'm looking forward to seeing you in September. So until then, please feel free to get in touch with me as needed. Have a great holiday, and stay tuned for more of the issues and concerns that make this activity in Washington so hard to predict and so challenging for all of you engaged in the delivery of services and designing transportation for the people that all of us are most concerned with. Thanks for now, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.